start with different kinds of angle measures with our triangles. So what we're going to be using is the exterior angle theorem. So don't really have any vocab words because we've already had the exterior angle theorem. What that said is the angle on the outside, like say angle 1, is equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles in a triangle. So 1, if you did the measure of angle 1, that would be equal to 3 and 4 added together. Okay, that was the exterior angle theorem that we learned. Also, one like 8 would be exterior, and it would be 5 and 6 added up. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using with these. So in problems like this one, it says determine the angle of greatest measure between 1, 3, and 4. Well, 1 was equal to 3 plus 4. So obviously, if you have to add these two to get this, it's going to be bigger than them. So the biggest one is this one. So you're basically picking the exterior one. Now, this one is a little trickier because 4, 5, and 6, or 4, 5, and 7, they don't look like exteriors, but 5 and 7 are in here. So they're inside that triangle, which makes 4 exterior. Okay, so if we're talking 4, 5, and 7, well, 4 is equal to 5 plus 7, which would make 4 the biggest one. So you're picking the exterior angle. All right, pause me, try the other two. So between 2, 3, and 6, 6 is the exterior. It's equal to 2 plus 3. So that would make 6 your biggest. And then we've got 5, 6, and 8. 8 is equal to 5 plus 6. So angle 8. Okay. These next ones, they're very similar. So they're basically just asking you to list all the angles that are, and we're using this. So there are a lot of the angles in there that we don't know about, but using the theorem, they want to know what angles that are less than 1. So in this one, 1 is on the outside. It's equal to 2 plus 3. Now, I know these other ones might be smaller than 1, but we don't know anything about them. All we know is 1 is equal to 2 plus 3. So obviously, the angle measures that are less than that are going to be angle 2 and angle 3. Okay? Less than 9. So 9 is the exterior. The ones inside here, 7 and 6, those are the ones that are going to be less. Okay, greater than 5. So if you're looking at 5, we want the ones that are greater than 5. Okay, so if we want the ones that are greater than 5, then you have to find the ones that 5, you need to find the other ones that it adds up to. So in other words, 5 and 4 are going to be, we're going to be looking at 3. So you're still finding the exterior. 5 is the exterior of 7 and 8, but they want the ones greater than 5. So if they want the ones greater than 5, you need to find the exterior angle of 5. Okay, so 4 and 5 add up to give you 3. So this one would just be angle 3. Okay, and that's kind of your only option. And then in 8, greater, so when you see greater, you're looking for the exterior. So I'm looking for greater than 8. So if I want greater than 8, 8 and 7 would be the opposite interiors of angle 5. Okay, so that's a little tricky, I know. But if they wanted the ones greater than 3, then you would have 3 and 2 that added up to 1, so it would be 1. Okay? Next, they say determine the relationship. That means you're going to use greater than or less than. I did that backwards, less than or greater than. Okay, so when they say determine the relationship between these two, you just basically are trying to figure out which one's bigger. So the rest of this section today, what you're going to be doing is the bigger the side, the bigger the angle opposite of it is. Okay, same thing with the angles. It goes both ways. The bigger the angle, the longer the side opposite is. Okay, so notice here the 3 angles right here. The smallest side would be across from the smallest angle. So the smallest side is MP. The biggest side would be across from the biggest angle in that triangle. So the biggest side would be LP. You're going to do the same thing with the sides. So if we're talking this little triangle right here, my biggest angle is going to be across from my biggest side. So this little angle ABD right here will be your biggest angle. Out of this triangle, my smallest side, my smallest angle is going to be across from my smallest side. So right there. That's what we're doing. That's the rest of this section. So the first part's the only part that's a little tricky. This part's a little easier. So if I'm looking at ABD, this one, and BAD is that one. They want to know which one is bigger. Do not do it by looks. okay? Because you'll just be guessing if you're doing it by looks. So across from A is 35, and across from B is 39. So since 39 is bigger, the angle B is bigger. So that means the measure of ABD is greater than BAD. That's all they want. That's your answer. So you're just figuring out if there's going to be less than or greater than sign. Okay, next, if I'm doing ADB, let me get rid of that. If I'm doing ADB, that's this one, compared to BAD, that's this one. So go across. This angle is 35. This angle is 23. So ADB, this one, it's got the smaller side, so it's going to be smaller angle. So less than. I forgot my little angle signs. Okay, so always compare the first one to the second one. So the first one, and then you decide if it's going to be less than or greater than the second angle. Okay, that's all you're doing every single time. So pause me and try the next one. I got BCD, that's this one, and I'm going to compare it to CDB. So CDB is that one. So for the blue one, this angle C right here is across from 35, and this angle D is across from 34. So this first angle is bigger. So the blue angle, which is BCD, is going to be greater than the other one because its opposite side is greater than this opposite side. That's how it works every single time. Okay. And number 12, I've got CBD. So CBD is right here compared to CDB, which is right there. Okay. So the first angle is across from 41. The second angle is across from 34. So the purple one will be bigger. So my purple angle, CBD, is greater than the red angle. Okay? Same thing here. They just want to know which is bigger. So we're comparing LM and LP. So if we're looking at LM, that's this one. So LM is across from the 59-degree angle. And LP is across from the 83-degree angle. So the green side is going to be bigger because it's got the bigger angle. So that means LM is greater than LP. Okay? It's the same thing. So it's the same thing as the sides. We're just going backwards. All right, pause me and try the other ones. So MP, we're comparing MP. Now, I don't know if I'm going to the 38 or the 79. It depends on the other one. Since the other one is MN, I want to stick in this triangle. Okay, so MP is across from 79, and MN is across from 44. So the purple one will be bigger because 79 is bigger than 44. So that's going to be MP is greater than. Okay, next, we're talking MN, so this one, which is across from the 44, compared to NP, across from the 57. So the green one is smaller because 44 is smaller than 57. Okay, and last one, I've got MP, and we're talking about LP. So we're talking this triangle. That means I'm going to go this way this time. So the first one's across from 38. LP is across from 83. So the red one is smaller than the blue one. So that means MP is less than LP. Okay. And then these, I just got a couple random ones. This one at the end here is going to be, I threw one in here because there's two like that on the homework, and it's a little trickier than what we've been doing. So this one says in the triangle shown, they give you this stuff, and they want to know which is true about the angles. Okay, so right here, this is the biggest side, so B is the biggest angle. So this is going to be the biggest angle, so that means no good here. And it says G is the greatest. So now we're looking at the least. If you want to find the smallest, you go across from your smallest side. So R is going to be the least. Okay. This one, sides order from shortest to longest. If they leave an angle out, Remember, angles in a triangle add up to 180. So minus 60 minus 40 gives you 80. So if I'm going shortest to longest, that means I need the smallest side. If I want the shortest, I need the smallest angle to get the shortest side. So BC would be the smallest. And then next is going to be the 60. So 60 is the next biggest angle. So the next biggest side is CD. So then that's going to be B. Okay, biggest side's across from the biggest angle. So 80 is the biggest angle. BD is the biggest side. All right, two more. So this one, which angle has the least measure? Find the smallest side. Least measure is angle Z. Okay, you can put the measure if you want. Doesn't matter. You can name me the angle. So this last one is the one that's tricky. They want, and I didn't put the directions, but they want sides, least to greatest. I forgot the direction, sorry. So to figure out the angle measures, you're going to have to figure out X. So to do that, like I was just saying, 3 angles inside of a triangle add up to 180. So I've got the 14x, 9x minus 10, and the 10x plus 5. 3 angles inside of triangle add up to 180. So that's going to give me 33x, negative 10 and 5 gives you negative 5. So add the 5 and divide by 33. I'm going to cheat on that one. So 185 divided by 33 is a decimal. Do that right? So 23, 33. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so 185 divided by 33 is about 5.6. So when I plug that in right here, I'm going to do that times 10, and then I'm going to add 5. So that's going to give me about 61. Okay, then I can plug it in right there. So 9 times the 5.6 minus 10 is going to give me about 40-ish. And then if I do 14 times 5.6, that's going to give me about 78. And it's just the problem that I picked because I picked a random triangle. So let me see. I think this would be 70 point. Oh, this was 0.6 and this was 0.4. Okay, let me make sure those all add up. Sorry, this calculator's boo-boo. Okay, so those do add up to 180. So that was the way I was checking my answer. I add all those up, made sure they equaled 180. All right, now I have my angle measures. So my sides, least to greatest, my smallest angle is right here. So my smallest side is going to be segment ML. Okay, and you don't have to put the less than if you don't want to. As long as you're listing them, you can do commas as well. And then my next biggest angle is 61. So my next biggest side is M. What is that? N. So MN is next. And then my biggest angle is 78.4. So my biggest side is going to be LN.